Ahoy, mateys! Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 best moments of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise.
This is a jar of dirt.
Yes?
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at the most memorable moments from the first 4 Pirates of the Caribbean films. While there were many good scenes filmed but cut from the theatrical releases, we're sticking with just moments that made it into the movies. Also, if you've missed any of these adventures, a spoiler alert is now in effect.
Jack Sparrow. Do you know this pirate?
Only by name.
Number 10. Skeleton Crew, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
You have a name, Missy?
Elizabeth Turner.
In the very first Pirates of the Caribbean adventure, Elizabeth Swann is kidnapped aboard the Black Pearl, a ghostly ship sailed by Captain Barbossa and his crew of menacing, mangy pirates. Elizabeth reluctantly joins the captain for dinner, and quickly learns that these pirates are even more deadly in the moonlight. In fact, the pirates are walking skeletons, cursed by a ghostly treasure they plundered long ago. The crackling bones and ghastly skeletal visages make the scene the stuff of nightmares.
The more we gave him away, the more we came to realize the drink would not satisfy.
Geoffrey Rush's perfectly piratey performance adds a dash of devilish humor as he chugs a bottle of wine and laughs with his crew. Fun fact, this wine-drinking skeleton gag was actually inspired by a scene from the 1967 Disneyland ride that the movie was based on.
You better start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one.
Number 9. Captain Jack Sparrow vs. Angelica, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides.
You've stolen me, and I'm here to take myself back.
The fourth Pirates adventure finds the infamous Captain Jack Sparrow in London, where he learns that he's being impersonated by a certain someone.
Stop doing that.
After a drink with his rock star dad at a rogue's tavern, Jack finds the mysterious imposter. They tussle and topple over barrels of alcohol until the imposter is revealed to be Jack's old flame, Angelica.
Always wanted to do that. And I'm Angelica.
This crossing of blades marks the return of the couple's love-hate relationship. Although Jack has already faced ghost pirates, cannibals, and sea monsters, Angelica knows all of Jack's moves and proves to be a sly match for him.
I will be impersonated as captain, nothing less.
Well, for that you need a ship. And as it turns out, I have one.
She also claims to be the daughter of the dreaded pirate Blackbeard, causing Jack to keep a weathered eye on her motives.
I am truly the daughter of Blackbeard.
Number 8. Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann's wedding, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
Elizabeth! Will you marry me?
Getting married in the middle of a gigantic, thundering maelstrom might not sound very romantic, but in a film where up is down and ships are sailed by mutated fish pirates, this wedding ceremony actually turns out rather charming. When the battle against Davy Jones begins looking grim, Will and Elizabeth implore Captain Barbossa to marry them upon the chaotic deck of the Black Pearl.
Barbossa! Marry us!
I'm a little busy at the moment!
The pirate lovers perform some slippery multitasking, taking their vows while fighting off Davy Jones's crew.
Elizabeth Swann, do you take me to be your husband?
I
Great!
Their original wedding in Port Royal was interrupted at the beginning of the second film, making this belated marriage all the more satisfying for audiences. Meanwhile, their battlefield kiss finally sealed the romance that has been brewing since the first film.
Just kiss!
Number 7. Cannibal Island Escape, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. In this offbeat pirate adventure, Captain Jack Sparrow is roaming the Caribbean in search of a mythical buried chest. But leave it to Jack to unwittingly find himself sitting on the chief's throne before a tribe of crafty cannibals. While he fumbles around flinging coconuts as a human shish kebab, his crew takes a tumble down the mountain, trapped inside their mobile bone cages. While these island hijinks are a bit cartoony, with Jack surviving a wily coyote fall into a deep chasm, there's still a heck of a lot of fun. Number 6. The day that you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. If there's one thing we know about Captain Jack, It's that he almost always has a knack for escaping death by some manner of cleverness or improvisation.
Pirate or not, this man saved my life.
After saving Elizabeth Swann from drowning in Port Royal, Jack is met with little thanks from Commodore Norrington and Governor Swann. Sentenced to death for piracy, Jack conjures up an escape and makes it known that this would be a day long remembered.
You will always remember this as the day that you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow.
This was the first time we saw just how nimble and quick Jack could be. His daring, impromptu escape delighted audiences, so that we'd be rooting for him through the whole film and more adventures to come. And we also begin to learn how fondly Jack feels about his hat.
Commodore Norrington, my effects, please. And my hat.
Number 5, Fight for the Key. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. Things get a little complicated when Jack and company arrive on Isla Cruces. Hoping to avoid death by Kraken, Jack is after the buried chest belonging to Davy Jones. Trouble is, everyone else wants it too. Will Turner arrives with the key and a three-way sword fight ensues between Will, Jack, and Norrington. This exhilarating movie moment features terrific stunt work and dizzying, fun imagery as the three key covetors balance atop a rolling mill wheel. Clambering over the rolling wheel in a tropical jungle made this a difficult scene to film for the cast and crew, but the on-screen results were well worth it. Number 4, Captain Jack Sparrow versus Captain Hector Barbossa. Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
I must admit, Jack, I thought I had you figured. It turns out you're a hard man to predict.
When these two larger-than-life pirate captains have their showdown, they find themselves off the edge of the map in a moonlit cave inspired by the scenery from the Disneyland ride. Being the ever-so-artful trickster that he is, Jack secretly palms a cursed coin, giving him leverage against an otherwise unbeatable foe. The treacherous Barbossa revels in swordplay, and the vivacious musical score heightens the excitement. This highly imaginative sword fight has the two pirates bounding over heaps of treasure, leaping in and out of moonlight, revealing their cursed skeletal figures.
Couldn't resist, mate.
The supernatural twist, along with the special effects ripe with creativity, makes this a truly memorable pirate sword fight.
I feel cold.
Number 3, Will Turner kills Davy Jones. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
Ah, love, a dreadful bond, and yet so easily severed.
Much of the suspense in At World's End comes from the matter of who is going to kill Davy Jones. As Elizabeth's father explains earlier in the film, whoever stabs the heart of Davy Jones must take his place as captain of the Flying Dutchman.
Dutchman must have a captain. Silly thing to die for.
This is a steep price to pay and not something to be taken lightly. During the battle with Davy Jones, Will's life hangs by a thread, and Jack gets the opportune moment to do the right thing. Will stabs the heart with a helping hand from Jack, proving that there's more to Jack than just his wobbly walk and desire for immortality. Will and his father are saved, becoming part of the ship, part of the crew. Number 2, Captain Jack Sparrow versus Will Turner. Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
You seem somewhat familiar. Have I threatened you before?
When young blacksmith Will Turner returns to his shop, he doesn't expect to find an infamous pirate skulking about. It's a good thing he's been practicing his sword fighting skills, because this is the day he crosses blades with Captain Jack Sparrow.
You threatened Miss Swann.
Only a little.
Jack underestimates him at first, but Will knows a few tricks to hold his ground against the uninvited pirate. Will fights with nobility and gusto that harken back to the swashbuckling characters played by Errol Flynn. This scene is somewhat of a test for Will, as more perilous adventures in the high seas await him.
Who makes all these?
I do. And I practice with them 3 hours a day.
Before we hoist our final pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
The rum is gone.
Why is the rum gone?
1, because it is a vile drink that turns even the most respectable men into complete scoundrels. 2, that signal is over 1,000 feet high.
You are Jack Sparrow.
There should be a captain in there somewhere.
Number 1. Captain Jack Sparrow arrives in Port Royal. Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. Arguably the coolest pirate in movie history, Captain Jack makes his grand entrance to Port Royal atop a sinking fishing boat. This was a perfectly humorous entrance for a very odd character, far different from pirate characters of the past. One of the reasons this scene works so well is that it tells us everything we need to know about this quirky pirate without the use of dialogue. Jack is a dashing, yet down on his luck pirate who's about to make port in a town where pirates aren't welcome. Just as his boat sinks to a halt at the dock, Jack takes his first step towards dazzling audiences with his quick wit, rebellious spirit, and adventurous charm.
What do you say to 3 shillings? And we forget the name.
Welcome to Port Royal, Mr. Smith.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.